ideal client profile is the next concept that I'm going to talk about that's more specific to marketing channels, but again, it's applies to a wide variety of different marketing activities and strategies and tactics. Now, before you can identify potential channels for your niche, marketing channels for your niche, you're going to need to understand who you're targeting. To do this, you need to have an ideal client profile. So why is an ideal client profile useful? There are really a number of ways, a number of reasons for that. But your ideal client profile is the target that you're aiming for. So without a target, you're going to flail around trying to pitch to virtually anyone, and sometimes you might get lucky and hit the target, but most times you're going to fail completely, or most time you'll fail completely. Now, you may never land someone who is your ideal client, but that ideal client profile is going to give you the direction to virtually all of your marketing efforts. And when you understand your client, your ideal client, how they operate, what they care about, it's far easier to find them and then discuss whatever problems and potential solution, whatever problems they have, and then potential solutions that you may be able to provide for them. So along the way, as you're talking with them and trying to understand who they are, what their business is, how they operate, the kind of problems that they have, and listening to them, actively listening to them, they'll know that you're focused on the same things that they are, instead of just making a pitch for some nice to have thingamajig that you're trying to sell, or some services that are sort of generic and they may apply to a wide variety. If you're listening actively to them and going into depth, into detail about what their concerns are, their problems or struggles are, they'll feel heard. You'll establish a rapport, a relationship, a trust and credibility with them. And again, they won't feel like you're pitching them something that they don't really care about or need or would be nice to have. They're going to understand, or they're going to feel like you're talking specifically to them and that you are going to be able to solve their problems. Now, when you make it clear that you understand them and their problems, it's really far less like a pitch, and it's more like talking with a friend. So you're not doing this pitchy kind of hard sell salesperson that the prospect or the client can't wait to get away from. It's more like talking to a friend, or again, a trusted advisor. You're listening to them, you're asking intelligent questions, going into depth about what their focus is, what they're trying to achieve, what their struggle is, what the results are that they want to achieve, instead of just trying to, go in there and say, hey, I've got this, shiny red car, and what can I do to get you in this car today, kind of thing, and doing the hard sell, used car salesman pitch. Okay. So again, you have to make it your business to understand their business. The more that you understand their business, the more that you can get inside their head and understand what their experience is, the more successful that you're going to be. And now I know that we're going to talk about tactics and strategy and things like this, but generally what I've found, and what other successful six-figure consultants and multiple six-figure consultants have found, is that as you move up the value chain, as you begin charging more for your services and providing more value to clients, what ends up happening is that your skill set and the specific deliverables that you're providing, or the technical expertise that you have, becomes a little bit less important, and those soft skills, those interpersonal skills, those interviewing skills, those listening skills, those advisory skills, those become far more important. Those are the things that end up being more valuable to the client than your specific technical expertise and the specific deliverables that you can provide to them. Sometimes what they again need is a trusted advisor, someone who can listen to them, who understands where they're at, understands where they want to go, and can advise them on how they can go from point A to point B. Okay, so let me give you one example of how not to do this. So imagine that you're someone who is a website designer or developer. You build websites, and your assumption is that everybody wants and needs a website. So you approach a target business and you tell them how great a website you can make for them, how beautiful it is, and you show them some examples of some really cool websites you've designed. And essentially what they may say is, well, that looks really nice, but I don't really need a website. What I really need are customers. So again, you're going in there pitching a website and designing a website or redesigning their existing website, and they're like, well, I don't care. I don't care about my website. I just need customers. So if you'd asked about their problems, you could show them how an online presence, whether it's a website or some other online presence, maybe social media or whatever, it could solve their problem and how it could get them customers. But instead, you just got rejected and probably got discouraged or felt deflated, defeated, frustrated, whatever. So again, that's an example of how not to do it. Going in there, having a preconceived idea of what the problem is and what the solution is, and just assuming that the solution is going to be a fit for this particular client without listening to their problems and what they really care about.